1300 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Maqsood Rahman. First, the headlines. Foreign Minister says India has violated the UNSC resolutions and international law by repealing the articles in its constitutions that ensure protection of demographic structure and special status of Jammu and Kashmir. As the world is observing International Day for Elimination of Sexual Violence and Conflict today, Pakistan has urged international community to take cognizance of the sexual crimes against people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In Afghanistan, 252 Taliban have been killed in fierce clashes with government forces in 13 provinces. In Iran, Ebrahim Raisi has won the presidential elections as his rivals conceded their defeat even before the announcement of official results. Now, the news in details. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says India has violated the UN Security Council resolutions, international law, and the 4th Geneva Convention by repealing the articles in its constitution that ensure protection of the demographic structure and special status of Jammu and Kashmir. In an interview with Turkish Anadolu news agency, he said Pakistan considers the Indian Act as unilateral and illegal, highlighting that the removal of Article 35A is related to the protection of the demographic structure in the region. He said, "We feel that there is a design for demographic restructuring to convert Muslim majority in the state into a minority. In 2019, India minimal autonomy of Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 and 35A of its constitution after putting the region of around 12 million people under military siege and cutting communications with the outer world." International Day for Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict is being observed today. The aim of observing the day is to raise awareness about the need to put an end to the conflict-related sexual violence and honor the survivors and victims of sexual violence across the globe. Meanwhile, Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Hafiz Chaudhry in a statement said this day reaffirms the principle of universality of all human rights, which apply equally in the conflict areas and occupied territories. He said on this day, we must not forget the brave people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir who have been facing egregious human rights violations at the hands of Indian occupation forces. The spokesperson said on this day, the international community must take cognizance of the sexual crimes against the people of Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir and call upon India to respect its international obligations, especially those related to the relevant UN Security Council resolutions and the 4th Geneva Convention. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops launched a massive cordon and search operation in Sopur town of Baramulla district early this morning. The forces personnel sealed all entry and exit points of the area. The operation continued till last reports came in. The National Assembly, which resumed its session at the Parliament House in Islamabad today with presiding officer Amjad Ali Khan in the chair, continued discussion on the budget for the next fiscal year. Participating in the debate, Abdul Qadir Patel said the growth figures presented by the government for different sectors of the economy are not based on facts. He was critical of the government's policies, saying these have resulted in inflation and unemployment. Niaz Ahmad Jaghar said it is the first time that a tax-free budget has been presented. He said utmost effort has been made in the budget to provide relief to the masses. In Iran, Ebrahim Raisi has won the presidential election as his rivals conceded their defeat even before the announcement of official results. According to the unofficial preliminary results, Raisi has so far won 62% of votes as the count continues. The other three candidates in the race congratulated Raisi for his victory. Raisi will take over from incumbent President Hassan Rouhani in August. In Afghanistan, 252 Taliban fighters have been killed in fierce clashes with government forces in 13 provinces. In a statement, Afghan Defense Ministry said these operations were carried out in Nangarhar, Laghman, Paktia, Zabul, Herat, Farah, Ghor, Faryab, Balkh, Juzjan, Helmand, Takhar, and Baghlan provinces. According to reports, Afghan forces evacuated Shirin Tagab district in Faryab and Dahana Gauri district in Baghlan. On the other hand, an Afghan National Army base in Maidan, Wardak province, was captured by Taliban. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News of